And I invite you to remain standing for the reading of the Gospel. Today we are reading from the Gospel of Mark, the 15th chapter, verses 1 through 15. Please listen with the ears of your heart and the ears of your body as we delve into the last 24 hours of Jesus' life and try to see what that has to say to us. As soon as it was morning, the chief priests held a consultation with the elders and scribes and the whole council. They bound Jesus, led him away, and handed him over to Pilate. Pilate asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" He answered him, "You say so." And then the chief priests accused him of many things. Pilate asked him again, "Have you no answer? See how many charges they bring against you?" But Jesus made no further reply, so that Pilate was amazed. Now at the festival, Pilate used to release a prisoner for them, anyone for whom they asked. Now a man called Barabbas was in prison with the rebels who had committed murder during the insurrection. So the crowd came and began to ask Pilate to do for them according to his custom. And then he answered them, "Do you want me to release for you the king of the Jews?" For he realized that it was out of jealousy that the chief priests had handed him over. But the chief priests stirred up the crowd to have him release Barabbas for them instead. Pilate spoke to them again. "Then what do you wish me to do with the man you call the king of the Jews?" They shouted back, "Crucify him!" Pilate asked them, "Why? What evil has he done?" They shouted all the more, "Crucify him!" So Pilate, wishing to satisfy the crowd, released Barabbas for them, and after flogging Jesus, he handed him over to be crucified. This is the word of God for the people of God. Thanks be to God. Amen. Let's pause for a moment and pray. Lord, we read your word again and again, and it is always something new to us. It always surprises us. Let it surprise us today. Let us listen for the words that you have for us. And thank you for the words you have given me to share, and may they be blessed unto your hearing and unto the kingdom of God. In Jesus' name, amen. The world, she is a-changing, so all the daily news outlets proclaim. Yes, the world never stops, and she never stops changing. Leota and I would often talk of the changes she had seen from her front porch, watching Spotsylvania go by and grow. She had seen a lot of changes in her 94 years. Change is a good thing when we're talking about modern medicines and indoor toilets. As I read the scriptures for today, I was struck by the title we have for Jesus. Not the Son of God title, but the Suffering Servant title. It's a change as he gets closer to the cross. We haven't heard that title before. And then, of course, I had to ask myself, well, what does the word servant mean? And I began to remember some of the changes in the world in just my short life span, compared to the others. When I went on my first airplane ride in high school to go from Connecticut to Georgia to compete in a prepared speaking event, they called the people on the plane who helped you stewardesses. And now they're called flight attendants. Not sure what that all happened, but something happened in there. And back then, when I was in high school, the people who took your order in the restaurant were called waiters and waitresses, but today they're called servers. Servers, servants, we're getting close. And Jesus, the one who blessed 5 loaves and 2 fishes and changed them into enough food for a multitude, could be called a server in that sense. Perhaps he's more of a master chef. The disciples were definitely servers. servants at that time, a role many of you have played over the last 2 weeks as we have served people at Leota's funeral reception and at Mar Falls yesterday. God bless you for your faithfulness in following in the footsteps of Jesus and his disciples. The loss of these two precious people changes who we are at Zion United Methodist Church. When they came here, they changed Zion. And as they served here, they changed Zion. And their absence today changes us. They were excellent examples of Christian servants. And as we think of these changes that are happening in the world, in a world where there are servants, our role model for a servant might be, for us today in America, watching Downton Abbey, with people of a lower class running around a palatial mansion house in black and white outfits and serving people of the upper class. I don't know of any of us who would possess a servant like that. We might have a gardener or a house cleaner come in a couple times a month, but not servants of the old-fashioned variety that we see in places like Downton Abbey. But Jesus is called a suffering servant, not your normal kind of servant. He's a suffering servant. And I'm sure the servants of Downton Abbey type places thought of themselves as long-suffering, but not in the same way as Jesus is the suffering servant. Today we are continuing our study of Reverend Anne Hamilton's book, 24 Hours That Changed the World. And the clock now rests at 7 a.m. on Friday, so we're getting a little closer to that crucifixion time. And so we find ourselves now at the Antonia Fortress. This is Governor Pilate's residence and a military garrison in the heart of the city of Jerusalem. And we have some very strong characters present in our scene today that we read from the Gospel of Mark. We have Pilate, the Roman governor. We have Barabbas, the insurrectionist who has been a prisoner of Pilate in the Roman Empire, on his way to an execution. And we have Jesus, Son of God and Son of Man. In our last episode, the Sanhedrin, the religious rulers of Israel, charged Jesus with blasphemy. That is not a chargeable offense, according to the Roman rule. And so the Sanhedrin now say, Jesus has claimed to be king, which would lead to charges of insurrection, as our friend Barabbas is also charged with. Now the Sanhedrin can take him to Pilate and get him out of their hair in a permanent way as they wash their hands of him and all the trouble he has caused. So if we have Pilate, we have Barabbas, and we have Jesus, Son of God and King of the Jews, where does the suffering servant come in? For that, we have to go back to the prophet Isaiah in the small passage that Richard read for us today. That is just one of 4 different parts of Isaiah called the Servant Songs. We read, and for Christians looking back in time, we say, aha, that really does sound like Jesus, doesn't it? Yes, it does. It sounds very much like Jesus. And yet, if you read all 4 of the Servant Songs, the suffering servant is definitely not a person. It is a people, the people of Israel. And surely they are a people who have suffered under Babylon and Rome, throughout history with pogroms and ghettos and genocide, including the Holocaust. The people of Israel certainly fit the description of a suffering servant. And it's interesting, as God speaks to us, not only does God speak to us as individuals, God speaks to us as a community of faith. He constantly spoke to the people of Israel as a community. And so God thinks of us and speaks to us as individuals and as a church. And so I believe Isaiah was referring to the people of Israel. Jewish scholars would say that's the only way you can interpret the scripture. Some Christian scholars say it's the only way you can interpret the 4 servant songs is to believe that they refer to Jesus. But I'm a both-and kind of person. And I think it refers to both the community, known as the people of Israel, and to the individual, known as Jesus, Son of God, Son of Man, and now we entitle him Suffering Servant. The scriptures use a lot of descriptors for Jesus. He's the resurrection and the life. He's the bread of life. He's a teacher and healer and leader. And he is Son of God. And now he comes into his role as a suffering servant. If we follow Jesus, then we're to be what he is. So we are to be the children of God, Son of God. And we're to be servants of God. Not either or, but both and. Both children of God and servants of God. We often refer to ourselves as the children of God, and we refer to ourselves as disciples of Christ. So it sounds like being a disciple of Christ is a dual role, to be a child and to be a servant. David Padfield affirms this in the words. He says, "Who is it that God upholds, chooses, delights in, and gives his spirit to? A servant." God rejects tyrants and overlords and chooses a servant, meaning Jesus, but also meaning us. Now let's see how this role plays themselves out in this scene from the last 24 hours of Jesus' life. Jesus was brought before Pilate. In order to get his job, we know Pilate had to be pretty politically savvy. He knew that the Sanhedrin are jealous. And he knew that they wanted to get rid of Jesus. And he knew he was playing the system. Pilate asked Jesus questions to see if Jesus really believed what the Sanhedrin accused him of. Jesus did not make Pilate's job any easier because he did not answer him directly. Now, the Gospel of Mark keeps this exchange fairly short. It's 15 verses. But our other Gospels go to great lengths to show Pilate as sympathetic to Jesus and wanting to let him go. But in the end, Pilate does not stand strong and exercise the power that he has. He lets the crowd sway him and his judgment. In one Gospel, he even washes his hands before the crowd to show he does not want to be guilty of sending Jesus to be crucified. Pilate, for all his title and Roman power, is weak. He goes with the opinion of the crowd. He bows to their pressure. And he does not listen to his own political savvy or the Spirit of God within him saying, this one's not guilty. Barabbas is just a pawn here. The one the Sanhedrin chose to be released. He gained from their manipulation and from Pilate's weakness. He was released. He did not have to pay for his sin. We don't know what happened to him. We don't know if he went back to his gang and tried to lead another insurrection, or whether he received the gift of life from Jesus and then changed his ways. Maybe he even became a disciple. We don't know. But we know he won his freedom at Jesus' expense. Jesus, however, Son of God and suffering servant, did not go the way of the crowd. He did not give evidence to affirm Pilate's belief that the Sanhedrin wanted to get rid of him. Jesus took his stand as the suffering servant. As Son of God, we know he didn't have to do that. Angels would come down and rescue him if he wanted. But as the Son of God and the servant of God, he chose to stand there and say nothing, and to continue to suffer and go all the way to the cross. To serve God, to serve us, to save us, to free us as he did Barabbas. He knew he was a child of God. He knew he was a servant of God. And he held both those titles in balance. We have over here our balance. This is Jesus, child of God and servant of God. Both roles are held in the balance. But as human beings, sometimes we get a little off balance there. Sometimes our lives are not going very well. Sometimes we're in the midst of grief, losing a husband, losing a mother. Sometimes we're in the midst of a disease or some job issue or whatever, and we can't be serving in those moments. It's just too much. We need to be child of God. We need to be child of God, sitting in the lap of God, being surrounded by the arms of God, and knowing that's a good, safe place to be, and it's okay to be there. When we're just being the child of God. And we have to remember the balance of being also the servant of God. I love being a pastor, and I loved meeting so many people, but I have met some people who just stay here as a child of God. They never move. They may take every Bible class that comes down the road. They never teach. They never reach out. They never serve. And that's sad, because they're only living half of their discipleship. And we have some people who forget the children of God and that they're just servants. And they tire themselves out because that's all they do. But Jesus wants us to be whole. Jesus wants us to be both. Jesus wants us to remember to balance the child of God and the servant of God. It's very important. It's very important. So we have to ask ourselves right now, have I been more of a child of God or a servant of God? And when was I each of these? And how can I find balance in the moments when we're not overtaken by grief and just need to be a child sitting in the lap of God? But in the regular moments of our life, how can we be both? Child and servant. Barabbas was just one of the crowd, so to speak. We can think of him as all of the people we call outside the church walls. There are no walls to the church, just so you know. These walls are just stones. The people outside the church are like Barabbas. They're children of God. Every single one of them. They're not servants, but every single one of them driving by right now, and just in the tour bus that went by, are children of God. They may not know it, they may not live it, but they are children of God. Those of us inside the church walls, and again, these aren't real walls, because there is no wall to the church, are children of God, and we're servants of God. We're both. We're fully claiming all that we are. We are fully living all that we are. As disciple servants, we are set to set an example of Christ and to tell of the times when God holds us and comforts us as children. But we're also called to go and be servants and to tell the lost children of God that there is a God, and God cares for them, and God will embrace them and surround them when they need it, and God will give them the strength to be a servant as he did Jesus when we need it. So we need to go out and call the lost children of God. Bring them in and help them to become whole as their own, and as they own their other title, servant of God. Adam Hamilton says in this chapter that we read this week, because of Jesus' death, we can look at the cross and see both God's great love and the costliness of grace. And we find our hearts changed by what God has done for us. We are meant, as a result of understanding the cost, to serve God with humble gratitude and to long, as we see Jesus suffer, to never sin again. And yet, of course, we will sin again and call again upon the grace of God revealed on the cross. Lent is a time for us, a time of introspection on our spiritual journey. Do we go with Jesus, or do we go with the crowd? Are we more of one or the other, child or servant? Or are we both? And which are we right now? Where we sit in our journey, in our Lenten place? And how do we balance the scales? In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.